Marijke Schroos. I'm the General Manager of Microsoft in Belgium and Luxembourg. In my work, I meet leaders who see artificial intelligence not just as a technological breakthrough, but as a force for sustainable and societal progress. One of them is Steven Latré, Chief AI Officer at Openchip. After an academic career at the University of Antwerp and IMEC, Steven has focused his energy on AI applications that are both socially relevant and environmentally responsible. With Openchip, a young scale-up aiming to become a European AI champion, he helps to build an ecosystem for AI and chips that is scalable, secure and sustainable.
So it's a very historical building, of course, but for us a great way to put a tech hub here as well.
Can you imagine, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
That is yours as well already?
Well, it's not ours actually, to be honest. It was already here, but I think it really relates as well to what we are. I mean, connection is in multiple reasons very crucial for us.
Yes, absolutely. It's a very nice place. You can sit outside as well. Steven Latré, so thank you so much for inviting us here in this beautiful building with so much history. So Openchip was launched about a year and a half ago, and you recently joined as well, and you're a well-known name here in Belgium as well. And I was just wondering, why did you join Openchip?
Honestly, I actually was looking for two reasons, to be honest. On the one hand, I really think that as Europe, I think we need to do something on AI, and that's really something where I have a very strong, firm belief in. I've worked for a worldwide renowned institute, being IMEC, for the first half of my career, about 19 years. And I think I've always been amazed about how strong the position of an organization like IMEC was. Really on research, really on innovation. It was an honor for me to also lead part of the AI department there. But at the same time, if I then look at are we able to translate all of that in Europe to really an actual tangible product, I think we weren't really there. And I think if you also are really realistic about this, same happened with telecom, cloud. A lot of the companies are actually really not European based. And I think really needed with AI to evolve towards, with the way AI is evolving right now, we need to do this. That was really that firm belief I had. I think we need to have a kind of European AI champion. And then I had a choice myself personally. Either I decided to stand on the sidelines and say, look, from an innovation perspective, we need to do this. Or I start building one myself. And then this train passed along, and it was so hard not to jump on it. And I think it's also just necessarily from a societal perspective. If you look at where AI is right now, I'm a computer scientist from background. So I really have a technical perspective to it, but for me, the technology of AI moved from something purely technological to also really very much societally relevant as well, and also societally disruptive with good, but also with bad aspects of it. And just putting that own flavor to it, making sure that we translate this extremely important technology into the right way is for me also kind of, I know it sounds fluffy maybe, but like a moral duty towards my kids, towards the younger generation as well.
Top. Yeah, I studied communication sciences, social sciences. So for me as well, the impact on society and the impact on our economy is very important. So I'm very happy that we have now also Openchip here in Europe. They call you the next NVIDIA, but I'm sure that you want to do something different as well, so bring something new to the world.
Yeah.
What is it?
Well, I think maybe first of all I would say lower expectations, but to set expectations, it's great that they already call us the next NVIDIA. I think we have the ambition to be also that. That means that we're a company that from the get-go really wants to focus on a system perspective. A lot of other organizations build just the AI chip, which is of course super crucial. But if you also look at what has been driving the success of NVIDIA, it's really the software, it's the application around it as well. And we've been fortunate that we're an organization that can really put that ambition very high and make really the applications around it as well. And that's what my team is doing for a large part. But indeed, I agree with you. I think if it would only be the NVIDIA, I think nobody likes a copycat. So we think that there are very specific mechanisms that if you look at how AI is evolving, mission criticality, the sustainable aspect of AI, there are a lot of challenges to be addressed there. And I think there, for us, we want to develop very specific chips that translate, and again, that sounds fluffy maybe, but European values like making sure that we build this in an open way, that making sure that we do this in safeguarding privacy, making sure that we do this also in a sustainable way. There are technological answers to that on how to translate that really into the chip, but all the way up to the application as well. And that's where we think that we can actually really make a dent and have an impact. AI is just evolving right now from, I would say, first proof of concepts to really very mission critical applications as well. And in that scaling from a simple proof of concept to really complex applications, we'll have a lot of requirements on security, on privacy, but also, of course, doing this with the planet in mind as well. And I think that's, for us at least, the sweet spot for the coming years.
Mm-hmm. And when you are saying with the planet in mind, you're also this on energy consumption, on anything else?
Yeah, correct, indeed. So indeed, absolutely energy consumption, but also how you actually use the right kind of materials for your chip development process as well. I think there's a lot to be done there. If you look at how AI has evolved over the last few years, it's a bit of a brute force approach in the sense that we're just building bigger and bigger artificial neural networks, which have led to unbelievable breakthroughs. The ChatGPTs, the Geminis of this world have really shooken up, I think, the whole application space in terms of AI. But at the same time, also, if you look at how much energy consumption or actually calculations they need, also that has skyrocketed. And I think we're entering more and more a new phase. Just a month ago, there was a report on how large language models like Gemini, how much energy consumption they actually have. And they reported that they were able to decrease the power consumption with a factor 33. So that's huge. That's huge. And I think that's just the tip of the iceberg. DeepSeek has brought the same thing as well, in a very good combination between hardware and software, which is really crucial, but at the same time also very complex because it's two different worlds that are following their own rules. Hardware is very strict, software is very agile, but in that combination, there's a lot of improvements to be made. So we call this hardware-software co-design. And there, I think we haven't found the right way to solve it yet. But in that combination, I think you can very easily put the energy consumption with a factor 100 down if you move forward. And I think we're seeing these early signals already, and that's going to be, for me, the sustainable nature of AI. AI will only be able to really survive if we can do it with way less computational power than we need right now.
Mm-hmm. And can you give me also an example on the privacy? What can a chip do or the platform do on the privacy?
Absolutely. So I think there's a lot of applications. Think of, for example, a financial institution, right? And a financial institution is working more and more towards agentic AI. So a lot of agents that work together to solve part of the financial chain. But of course, in doing so, that application will use privacy-sensitive information as well from a customer who's being asked to send over some pictures or looking at the bank accounts and so on. All in all, AI is going more and more into the direction of keeping memory, keeping track of that privacy-sensitive information as well. And if I look at how the current agentic applications work, they're pretty, I would say, proof of concept-y in the sense that they work, but they don't really look at the privacy angle of it. So how do you make sure that this gets protected all the way up to the stack? And with all the way up to the stack, I really also mean deeper dived into the hardware as well. So suppose that an attacker would be able to get access to the computer, so to the physical access to the computer. How are we still able to protect then that, for example, every piece of data that was being kept into memory, that is still encrypted? But all the way up to the application side, it's about how do you make sure that memory is being handled only, so the data of the customer is being handled only when it's really needed, and nobody else has access to it. That full stack protection is crucial. And it's really, again, a reason why we're this full system, full stack company that we need to go from the hardware all the way up to the application as well. And I think we're building a chip right now which has very specific mechanisms in mind to do all of this. So to encrypt memory of agents, to validate whether the AI that is running on there is actually the right type of AI. Doing that in hardware gives you always the best guarantees going forward.
So being a European, I'm only applauding the fact that Openchip is there. Now there is a lot of talking about sovereignty, about the fact that we need to invest more in European AI and in European AI economy. But the sovereignty, of course, does that mean that we will build something in Europe only for Europe? Or how do you see how Openchip is going to move?
Yeah, well, first of all, indeed, I think there's multiple angles to this. So yes, we're a European company, but I think we absolutely want to be a global company. There's no need to build technology only for Europe. There's also, I think, it's an illusion to think that people will just buy your product because it's European. We want to build an internationally competitive product that is out there to compete with others as well. Where does a European play come into? I think on two angles. On the one hand, it's about safeguarding the supply chain. For me, chips and the ecosystem around it, it's going to be the engine of any future innovation on computational workloads. So if we're not able to have these AI factories in the future here also in Europe, this will hinder us going forward for all startups, for all SMEs, and for all companies going forward. And if you just look at what the demand is towards the supply that we have, you do see that there's already a huge gap going forward in the next few years as well. So I think it's going to be crucial as Europe to also build our own products out there. And there's a huge market for that. So that's good for us, of course. But on the other hand, it's also about how do you implement this technology going forward. So that's back to the first part of our conversation. If you look at how data privacy, for example, has been implemented in the past, I'm a very big fan of legislation in that sense. I think what Europe has done in GDPR and aspects like that has really set a standard for how we look at it from worldwide. But at the same time, the technological implementation of a GDPR Act is for me also not always the right way. We've all been used to just accepting all these cookies, and that's the way we're doing this right now, let's be honest. So I hope actually that if we now move forward like towards the AI Act, I think AI Act has, again, some very important mechanisms to protect the future of AI. But I think it's our moral duty to kind of find a technological solution to that as well. So that will, for me, mean that we will build a kind of more European flavor of how specific protection mechanisms for AI need to be implemented. But it's really a technical solution. It's not just a societal, we need to do this or we need to do that. No, it's really a technical solution to that. And I'm pretty sure that if we have this, and if this is an internationally competitive product as well, the market is global and everybody will hopefully adopt this.
Great. How would you see then the collaboration with companies like Microsoft?
Yeah. Well, again, to my previous point, we're living in a very global market. And at the same time, we're only there with a handful of players as well. If you look at the hyperscalers, the data centers, the chip vendors, the application developers like the OpenAIs of this world, collaboration is going to be key in all of this. We all have like one part of the value chain that we're acting in. You cannot do this alone. Thinking that we can build, I said in the beginning, we're a full system, full stack company, but thinking that means that we can do everything from the transistor level all the way up to the application and also operating data centers, that's not possible. So do we see very strong strategic partnerships with hyperscalers of this world. The partner ecosystem that, for example, Microsoft has is crucial for us as well to be able to reach the market. And I think together, we can for sure create a very strong collaboration in that sense. And it's also in different fields. I think you can say the same thing for the more application developers or the large language model providers, but all the way up to the hardware as well. We have a strategic collaboration with IMEC that will allow us also to really drive innovation, to have really cutting edge technology as well. Because in the end, it all comes down to, is your chip technology advanced enough to do this? And I think with that collaboration with IMEC, we're able to get to that level. So only by really having these strategic alliances, we're able to also reach these, let's be honest, very, very high ambitions that we set ourselves as well.
Yeah, it must be really nice also for IMEC and all the people that are working there on R&D to see it actually productized here, very close to where they are as well.
Let's hope so. We're here literally from, I think it's like 2 minutes walk from the IMEC offices in Ghent. I think it's for us also a privilege to be that close to IMEC as well. It was one of the reasons why Openchip also settled in Belgium. So it's that bi-directional way. I think we need each other very, very strongly. I don't think we can do without that technology, but at the same time, I agree as well. I think it was one thing that motivated me to move from IMEC to Openchip, being able to translate cutting-edge research into products, and then doing it just like 2 minutes walk from here is even better.
Yeah. But of course, IMEC is also in Leuven. But you're in Ghent. Why Ghent?
Why Ghent? There was a very deliberate reason for that, because I'm responsible for the AI department within Openchip internationally. That means that there's a part of the team here in Ghent, or in Belgium at least. We chose Ghent because from a software ecosystem perspective, this is really the capital, I would say. And I think it's quickly evolving, but if you just look at how much unicorns have been founded out of Ghent in the last few years, it's amazing. I've been very fortunate enough to be at the start of the Winter Circus as well. You really see that ecosystem and that community really building, and communities and ecosystems and tech ecosystems. You often hear about these words, but I really saw that blossoming and flourishing very, very fast. How founders who made a very successful exits came and gave a masterclass to the new generation of founders as well. Of course, I didn't travel the whole of Belgium, so there will be other places probably as well. But it's the first time ever that I saw this. And so for me, being part of that was crucial. And in all honesty, what we do as Openchip, it has proven to be crucial as well already. Just the network and this mindset of paying forward already, which is very strong in Ghent. How people want to help each other. I think that's key.
Yeah, and we've seen some very nice examples already coming from Ghent as well.
Absolutely. So I think it's just the beginning, and we hope actually to complete that list in the near future as well.
Yeah, and we are here in the Vooruit building. So we are like the psychologists are very nearby. The engineering teams are the educational institutions from the University of Ghent from engineering are also very close by. You are expanding rapidly. What I've learned is that you're already with 300 people now, and only in 18 months' time. What are the ambitions there, and are you recruiting here as well?
We're absolutely recruiting here. So if people are listening, please look at the many job positions we have. So it goes very fast right now. So when we joined, which is it feels almost like a century ago, but it's just been 5 months. We were with 120 people at Openchip. We were 300 right now. The ambition for the overall AI office is to be with 150 people in 1 year time. So that's also a very strong ambition that we've set ourselves. Half of it will more or less be here in Ghent. So we're looking actually to fill this beautiful area. We're only with 10 people right now here in Belgium, but there should be about 60-65 people joining in the coming months as well. So it's a pretty empty building, pretty empty office, but we'll hopefully to fill it soon.
And you're hiring early in careers, but also very senior profiles, very technical, but also others.
Absolutely. So the large part of it will be AI oriented, and that's people who software developers, people who work on data infrastructure, the data scientists, front end, back end developers, all of that. But we're also hiring non-technical roles as well, which is key as well. We're very close to Brussels. We're an international company with headquarters in Barcelona, but Brussels is, of course, as we're a European company, also very important. So we also have people from communications, the team here. We have people from the hardware team here as well. So it's a bit all over the place.
And are you focusing also on specific industries to go first? Or?
Well, if you look at beginning of the talk, I said that mission critical applications is key. And that's a firm belief we have. I think if you look at what AI has brought us the last few months or years, I think we've seen a lot of great breakthroughs, but it was on kind of proof of concept applications, media and entertainment, which is of course a key application as well. But the mission criticality of it is a bit lower. I think the next wave of AI is going to be in really mission critical applications like fintech, healthcare, cybersecurity, where privacy, security, guaranteeing that it doesn't only work 99% of the time, but it works 99.99999% of the times. That I think is going to be key. So that's also for us where we think that with both the chip and the software, because we're building a hardware chip, which will be available end of 2027, but also already a software product should be available next year already. Those two will really focus on these mission critical applications.
That's a year from now. Where do you see yourself 10 years from now?
Yeah. Well, I started off this adventure saying that there needs to be an European AI champion. So I think it's obvious that I would say I hope that we will be that European AI champion. Well, I think I don't really look at the competition in the sense that I think we should do our own stuff, and the market is big enough for multiple players. I'm very much convinced of that. 10 years is a short time frame in hardware. It's a very long time frame in software as well. And as I'm a little bit in the middle of that, it's very hard to make that exactly prediction. And I think that's in general if you want to predict how AI is going to evolve, I think you have better chances of playing the lottery if you ever want to make a good end. So really making a prediction of that's where we need to be is really hard. But we need to be that player in Europe, that AI player in Europe for sure. I hope that if people talk about AI and Europe, that the first name pops up is Openchip. That would be, I would be a very happy man if that happens. And that can be a bit earlier than 10 years from now.
Steven, you were a well-known professor. You were also very well-known being an executive at IMEC. You made the choice now to go to Openchip, but I found it a story behind being the best in everything you do, but now being very dedicated to your work at Openchip. Can you explain a little bit more in detail? Because
sure. I wouldn't say that I was the best in everything I did, to be honest. But I think it's, if I look at it, I've indeed had more of an academic career in the past, and I've always been fond of innovation. But at the same time, if I look what AI is bringing us right now, I think we really have this breakthrough. And it's a choice for me to kind of decide on how will AI look like in 10 years from now as well. And I grew up really with the infancies of the internet. I've also done a lot of research at IMEC on new paradigms that actually try to correct what the internet has brought us as challenges as well. When in the 90s, Tim Berners-Lee invented the World Wide Web, he had a different paradigm in mind of how the internet should look like. We're still correcting to some extent some of the design flaws, or at least evolutions that we had in the internet of consolidation of data that is sometimes also bringing us challenges as well. And if I now fast forward to the AI world, I think we're at the same intersection again, that the choices that we make right now are going to be extremely important for the next 10 to 15 years of how that technology is evolving. So I'm not a...
And can you give an example of that to make it more concrete?
Absolutely. So how do we handle privacy? How much do we regulate AI? And how much do we let it go free? What do we do with the move towards artificial general intelligence? Do we put certain boundaries on that? Should we actually evolve more towards AI that is let's say, a bit more structured in its way of thinking, so that we can also have a bit more of a hybrid approach where there's a bigger transparency. I mean, there's a gazillion of options there that, from a technological perspective, we're not there yet. And the next choices that we're going to make are going to be key. And then the distinction between academic versus then building really a product. In the last 20 years, I've saw this evolve. And I really got the feeling right now that AI is at the stage where, if I think about 20 years ago, that was a very theoretical idea. And I still remember doing research doing as a PhD student, where I was able to solve like a very, very tiny thing with a huge AI system already, at least huge for 20 years ago. While now it has tangible applications, tangible impact as well, but therefore also tangible disruptions as well. And either I could say, like, I'm going to stand on the sidelines from an academic perspective and warn for and give guidance on what we should do. But I kind of course, that's extremely important as well. But for me, it was too important to also start building it myself as well. And my kids often complain that I'm always saying this, but I'm really doing this for my kids, in the sense that for me, it's about trying to have at least a bit of an impact on how AI is evolving. Mm-hmm. And I hope to bring a more positive contribution and a more positive evolution to that as well. And I think we're surpassing the stage where we can say, look, this is the direction that we should go towards. Mm-hmm. We should really build it so that there's a tangible product out there. So it's going to probably split my career a bit in half. I'm like, only 20 years I've spent really in the academic sides of things, a bit of an evolution from a PhD student to a professor, yes, towards more the research and innovation at IMEC. But for me, it was the most obvious step to now say...
It's a little bit more than a bit of evolution.
Well, yeah, indeed, absolutely. And I think now it's just, it felt really right. And I'm having a lot of fun, to be honest.
I'm looking forward that you also can prove the fact that you can safeguard AI while keeping the innovation.
Exactly. I think that's for me the very tricky balance to be found. I'm absolutely a technology optimist. So I think for me, AI is like the number one technology of our generation. And we don't have a choice on should be adopted or not. No, it's going to be there. And it's changing our lives for like 95% in a good way. And the 5% is the things that we need to make sure that we tune that down as much as possible, so that we again go to this 90% and
enjoy.
Exactly. And it's a technological choice to be made. You can start warning about the dangers of it, but there's actually a lot of technological implementations that you can make that actually solve this. And just having a little bit more attention towards this is key, and that's what we want to do.
Yeah, and for that you need a deep understanding that Absolutely. You can bring from your background as well.
I hope so.
So thank you so much for this conversation. I found it very interesting, and I'm looking forward to see the evolution of AI and the European AI and what you're going to contribute to that as well.
It was my pleasure. Thanks a lot for having me.